So in this video, I'm going to walk you through part 2 of the animation. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I'll leave the link in the description below. But basically here, we're going to focus on the lighting and texturing of this animation. So as you know, we have a sweep that's basically a circle around a circle here with the different clones. So as you know, we don't need the cloner with the torus, so we're going to delete that out. And if you have a look at the final animation, basically here I've merged two textures. So we've got the pearlescent or the iridescent texture along with the glass one. So basically when the torus is in the middle and at its smallest is one texture, and basically when it's scaled out it's actually a different texture. So I'm going to show you how we do that. So the one thing we know is the scaling is all controlled with this formula effector here. So first thing we can do is we can duplicate this and call it color. Under the color tab, I'm just going to turn off scale. And basically, if I was to apply the color to the cloner right now, it would just apply a singular color to all of the different toruses basically we have. So what we need to do is break them up into individual toruses. So and the way to do that is by adding in a fracture. So the Voronoi fracture is, or the Voronoi is the one we want to add. So we'll just drop sweep under that. And what you see here is we've got the different sections basically. So what we want to do is delete that out. And as you can see here, we have the different colors for the different toruses, which is what we want. So we can drop our color effector in under effectors, and this is going to set us up for the Redshift material. So first thing to do, let's add in a camera. I'm going to change the focal length to 300 and just zoom out. And I'm just going to check the settings. So if this is for Instagram, we want to do a 1200 by 1200. And I'm just going to do 0 to 90 frames now and change this to Redshift. So let's also, while we're here, add in a dome light. So I use the HDRI Link Plus from Grayscale Gorilla. So I'm just going to connect it up and just drop in a basic HDRI. Again, you can use any one, obviously it'll give you a different effect, but I'm going to go for this Pro Studios Metal. Just make sure that's applied now. So let's go and boot up our render view. So I'm going to dock this here and start the render. Just going to double check this HDRI is enabled. It is. So I'm going to up the intensity to something like 3. And already what you can see here, if I just remove this from the editor, we can see we have the colors matching and reflecting in Redshift. So let's set up a camera and we're actually going to protect that. So if we come into, I believe it's rigging and then protection, that's going to protect our camera so we basically can't accidentally move around. And the first thing I see here in the render view is some of the toruses are quite jaggy. In fact, all of them are. So let's come in. I'm just going to go back to original size. So let's come in here and change the main circle here to subdivided, just so it's a bit smoother. So let's go ahead and basically create a material from here. So we're going to create a Redshift material, apply this to the fracture, and basically to pick out each of these individual colors, what we need to do is add in a color node. So it's called color user data. And to show you this, I'm just going to drop it into a ramp just so you can see the different gradient. So diffuse color, and we'll plug this into the input. So we don't see anything yet. What we need to do is come into the attribute and MoGraph color. So you see here, we've got a gradient set up, we've got that plugged into diffuse, and we've got the user data. So under color, Just make sure this is a vector color, and make sure the other effectors are not using the color. So basically, the color formula here is not doing anything to the y-axis or the scale. It is just applying the color data. So you can see here the render view is already updated. So the inner rings here, as you can see, are black, and the outer ones are white. So we just hit play. If you follow this black one here, you can see it turns to white as it's going out to its largest size, and as it goes down, that will go basically to grey and then back up to black. So this is the effect we're looking for at this stage. So basically, the way I kind of created the final render is I actually merged two materials together. So the way to do that is if I come into the material, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop in a couple of other materials. So again, these can be any ones you like, so I can pick this red one and let's just merge it with the aluminium. So we'll come back into original material. What I can do is I can just drag both of these in. And because we're looking to blend these two materials, let's add in a material blender. And we'll plug these in. This one can go in the base color, and this one here. So I'm just going to drop this one in again. So we want to go with the anodized. And let's put this into the layer 1 color. So if I then add that to the output, as you can see, we're just getting the red coming through now, but if I take this color user data and plug that straight in to the blend color, we'll see we're starting to get a blend of those two materials. So in here, you can delete out the other material and the ramp node, and basically if you hit play, you see in the inside that goes from red, and the outside it then ends up going to silver. So this is how I achieved the effect. I did use materials from Grayscale Gorilla to achieve the final render. Obviously you guys can use your own. Basically if you create it this way, then you'll end up with the final effect. And yeah, that's basically it. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, if it's helpful, please remember to like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll post a new one soon and speak soon.